Hello, and welcome to this edition of Sports Outlet. I'm Kristen DiRenna.
And I'm Ajaj. We're bringing you the latest news in TCNJ athletics, then we'll be discussing what's happening in the world of professional sports.
Stay with us. Let's get started.
The TCNJ women's soccer team continued their dominant season with a 3-0 win over Montclair State Redhawks on Saturday. It gave the Lady Lions their 11th straight win, perching them on top of the Ajaj with a 7-0-0 conference record. The team has 3 home games left on the schedule before the playoffs begin, and with the team surging with 9 straight wins, now is a great time to get to a game.
The TCNJ women's field hockey team secured their 11th win of the season on Tuesday against Stockton University, extending their win streak to 7 games. This win puts the team at 11-3 on the season, with their only 3 losses separated by a few goals. They are 6-0 on their home turf with just 1 home game remaining on October 25th. The team is atop the NJAC with a 5-0 conference record, but their next game on October 22nd will be a tough matchup on the road against undefeated conference foe Keene University.
The TCNJ men's soccer team also squared up against Montclair State on Saturday and ended up settling for a tie. The team now sits at a 3-3-1 conference record, putting them in a tie for 5th place. The last and only home game left on their schedule is an October 26th matchup against Rowan University, and the game may prove to be vital for the future of the team's season, as only the top 6 teams in the conference make the postseason tournament.
The TCNJ football team has been struggling this season. They hold an 0-6 record with their most recent 34-7 loss coming from Frostburg State University on Saturday. Their next game is at Montclair State University on October 22nd. The team will look to put on a good showing for their homecoming day game on October 29th against William Patterson University.
We'll be taking a quick break, but when we get back, Skylar and Darel will be joining us for our Pro Talk segment.
I'm Maddie Stoner.
And I'm Grace Manassian.
And you're watching Sports Outlet on LTV.
Welcome back. We're joined by Skylar Darel. For the first round, Matt and Skylar will have some discussion questions to answer before we jump into our rapid fire round. The first question is as follows. Who's the best team in the NFL right now?
Okay, Skylar, I'm thinking the Patriots right now. All right, they got Tom Brady back. They survived those first 4 games, right? They went 3-1. They got shut out in 1 game. Dude, Bill Belichick could win with anyone. He's got Jimmy Garoppolo, some known. Did you ever hear of Jacoby Brissett before this? No, you never heard of that guy. Bill Belichick goes 3-1 with him, right? Guy's unbelievable. Tom Brady, best player of all time. You can argue that later, maybe because we can argue that for hours. All right, but Tom Brady, greatest player of all time, still the best quarterback in the game right now. He's back with the team. They got a studly defense. They got Rob Gronkowski back at full health, I assume, right? But who knows with him. Julian Edelman, my God, this team is so loaded. They got the best coach in the league, best quarterback. Dude, I don't know how it could go wrong for the Patriots this year.
It's a good shout to say the Patriots, but I personally think the Seattle Seahawks are the best team in the league.
Okay.
Why? Well, number one, Russell Wilson's a beast.
True.
The past 2 years, he's been among the best quarterbacks in the NFL, and he's still very young. He's got so much time ahead of him. He's got a good receiving core, finally. Jimmy Graham is starting to come along. You've got Doug Baldwin, you've got Jermaine Kearse, you've got Tyler Lockett. Overall, he's got a good receiving core, and the Seahawks defense is like legendary. The Legion of Boom, you got Richard Sherman, Cam Chancellor, Earl Thomas. They are just such a well-rounded unit, and Pete Carroll has done this amazing job over the last couple of years. They're a constant Super Bowl threat, and honestly, I think the NFC is substantially weaker than the AFC right now, and you've got teams like Pittsburgh and Denver in the AFC. I think the Seahawks are clearly the best team in the NFC other than the Vikings. So
Okay.
I'd say the Seahawks.
All right, what about Marshawn Lynch, though? That's a huge loss for the Seahawks. He was really their offense for the past couple of years, especially the year they won the Super Bowl. Can they survive without him?
Yeah, you make a good point about Marshawn Lynch, but honestly, I think Christine Michael's done a great job this year of carrying the Seahawks load and giving them more of a 2-dimensional offense. Also, to my point about the Seahawks defense, I think defense wins championships. You saw last year with the Denver Broncos. I don't think New England's defense is quite on par with Seattle, especially after losing Darel Revis, who was such a key cog in their last Super Bowl run. So
Right.
I think when you're looking at both sides of the ball, yeah, Brady's great, but I think the Seahawks defense can do well to stop Brady better than most other teams can. So
Fair enough.
For the second question, are the Vikings a legitimate Super Bowl contender?
I'm going to say yes. I really believe they are. Listen, going off of the defense theme, their defense is absolutely outstanding. I watched the Giants do absolutely nothing against them for 4 quarters. They are a phenomenally coached team. Mike Zimmer is just such a good coach. Sam Bradford has also been a revelation for this team. He really has. He's game managing them to 5 victories in a row, the only undefeated team left in football, and they're getting Adrian Peterson left. So you have Peterson, you have a good quarterback in Bradford, and you have an amazing defense. I think those are 3 recipes to take this team to the promised land.
Okay, look, defense, fantastic. I'll give you that. Xavier Rhodes might be the best cornerback in the league right now. And Harrison Smith, Captain Munnerlyn, best name in the NFL, and he's a great player too. Anthony Barr, Chad Greenway, Linval Joseph, great defense, okay? But let's go back here. It's Sam Bradford, right? We remember this is Sam Bradford. We've only been through 5 games. Yeah, he's played all right so far. But okay, let's look at the past, like 6-7 years of Bradford. We've gotten nothing out of that guy besides his rookie year. That guy is going to crash and burn, just like the Eagles are going to crash and burn. All right, all you Eagle fans, that's going to happen. But Sam Bradford, that is not a guy who can take anyone to the promised land. Let me tell you that. And as for Adrian Peterson coming back, that's not going to happen. I'm a Jerick McKinnon guy. All right, Jerick McKinnon is like Superman on steroids. All right, look at his NFL Combine scores. That guy is a stud. Adrian Peterson was doing nothing before he went down. This is going to be Jerick McKinnon's team when he comes back. But no matter whose team it is, not winning anything with Sam Bradford at quarterback.
Listen, here's the thing. The Denver Broncos won the Super Bowl last year, correct?
Yes.
Peyton Manning sucked last year. He was strictly a below-average quarterback, and they still won with C.J. Anderson at running back and an amazing defense. Now you have Bradford, who so far has been an above-average quarterback, and to your point about Jerick McKinnon, he's great, but isn't it embarrassment of riches if they get Adrian Peterson back and they have 2 outstanding running backs on their team with Bradford and with that defense? Ground and pound, baby, all the way to the Super Bowl.
Okay, I see what you're saying, but I just gotta go back to Sam Bradford again because Peyton Manning, he wasn't good last year. I'll give you that much, okay? But Peyton Manning, at least he was like a game manager. He wasn't causing a lot of turnovers. He was just, he was just there. All right. Sam Bradford is a guy who can just make your whole team fall apart because he just doesn't. He can't make the right decisions. He doesn't have the mechanics. He's just a guy who's gonna fall apart your team. He can set you back. He can lose you games. Peyton Manning didn't lose them games last year.
I think Peyton Manning did. Peyton Manning was throwing interception like it was goodwill last year, and for the last 3 seasons, he's been on the decline. That's why he retired. He retired on top, but it was because of the defense. Everybody knows it. Meanwhile, insert Trevor Siemian, who's no one has heard of before this year, and the Broncos are still one of the best teams in football. Defense wins championships.
Great discussion, guys. Now it's time for our rapid fire segment. Each analyst will be asked 2 questions to which they will have 30 seconds to answer. Matt, let's start with you. For your first question, who wins the MLB, AL, and NL MVP awards?
Okay, I'm going to tell you who's gonna win it, the AL and NL MVP awards. NL is without a doubt Chris Bryant, and I agree, it should be Chris Bryant. The guy had a studly season. Okay, AL though. All right, who's gonna win it? David Ortiz, because he's retiring, right? They're gonna give it to him because of that. No, great season, whatever. Okay, Jose Altuve, also great season. But let's not forget Zach Britton of the Baltimore Orioles had a .54 ERA this year. That is unbelievable. I looked at that today. I couldn't even believe it on my screen. I looked at Mariano Rivera. Mariano Rivera never had an ERA of double that, let alone .54.
That's a grand slam answer, Matt. Skylar, this question is for you. What's a better story? Cleveland winning 2 titles in a year after their drought, or the Cubs winning for the first time in over a century?
Well, listen, it's tough. Cleveland hadn't won a title in any sport in 52 years. Meanwhile, Chicago has had the Bulls, Michael Jordan, but the Cubs have not won the World Series in 108 years. That is absurd, considering that they are considered one of the marquee franchises in Major League Baseball. I think that would be the biggest story in sports for almost a decade. 108 years? Are you serious? The Cavaliers won Cleveland their championship. The Indians are making a good run. No one really expected them to be this far. So I think the Cubs winning for the first time in 108 years, if it happens.
Matt, for your second question, does the addition of Kevin Durant make the Warriors title favorites?
Okay, I'm a Warriors guy. Everyone thought when they got Kevin Durant, super team now, whatever. Okay, I'm realistic, okay? Kevin Durant is going to throw a whole, wrench into this whole perfect equation that the Warriors have. Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, Kevin Durant. How can all those guys gel together? Remember the Heat the first couple years when they got LeBron James? Those guys couldn't really gel. It took them 2 years just to get to their championship squad. I'm going to give it a year to gel. I still say Cleveland's the favorite for now. I want to challenge Steph Curry. All right, you messed up bad last year in the finals. Make up for it.
All right. Skylar, who will win the World Series first, the New York Yankees or the New York Mets?
Honestly, this is such a difficult question, and it pains me to say it as a Yankee fan, but I think the Mets are going to win. Listen, the Mets have pitching. They have Thor, they have Jake DeGrom. They've got such a good team already. They've made the playoffs the last couple of seasons. I think they're right there. Meanwhile, the Yankees are investing in youth, which is smart because they've got the baby bombers, and they're obviously on the uptick. But everyone's saying they have all this money in 2018. The last time the Yankees went on an offseason spending spree was in 2013 when they got Jacoby Ellsbury, Carlos Beltran, and Brian McCann. That doesn't pan out for them. I think the Mets can win now, and I think they are going to win the World Series before the Yankees.
All right, thanks, guys. Well, that does it for this episode of Sports Outlet. We'll be back soon, but in the meantime, if you'd like to join Lions Television, email us at ltv@tcnj.edu or like us on Facebook. And for more information on TCNJ Athletics, go to tcnjathletics.com. From Matt, AJ, and Skylar Darel, I'm Kristen DiRenna. We'll see you next time.